All right, what is going on, my dudes? We're back here today with a little forum post that just dropped by our buddy Kabam John. So let's take a look here. Hey all, before we get into what's coming up in the future, let's chat a bit about the current state of reworks and updates. There's been a lot of chatter about how Champion reworks and updates have changed, and we are still approaching reworks the same way we always have, and we want to reestablish our goals and parameters of these champ revamp efforts. The goals have always been give champions an update that will help them feel more meaningful, especially for newer players who usually have fewer options to deal with challenges, and to increase a relative sense of excitement when these champs are pulled from a crystal. So, those 2 bullet points. Number 1 definitely has been reached. Number 2, not so much, right? So, for example, let's say someone who doesn't have like a 6-star Jane Foster, right, pulls a Jane Foster. They're probably not going to be super duper excited pulling Jane Foster, right? However, Jane Foster, as a 2-star or a 3-star, even a 4-star for a newer player, is going to be actually useful for them as they make their way towards the end game of MCOC. So I definitely do think that the goal of making every champion at least useful, at least usable in some way, in some facet, is definitely being reached. No doubt about that. But you know, it kind of comes down to, like, we can't make every buff kind of like Magneto, right? Every buff can't come out being like Diablo, Magneto, that kind of thing, right? Because then if every champion is broken OP, then the game is broken OP. And then every champion has to be broken OP. Every new champion, every buff champion has to be broken OP. And then the game is just dumb, right? So I totally get it. But of course, you know, when you're looking at buffs like, you know, Jane Foster, right, up against that Kingpin, up against that Ultron, you know, that type of buff, it's definitely very easy to say like, oh, it's not that great anymore, right? But look at this right here. Many of the champions that get reworks are obtained regularly in the early game, especially those with the 1- and 2-star versions. While it may feel like eons ago that many of you use a 2-star champion, they are still regularly used by new players. For these champions, one of our priorities is to keep them feeling simple and easy to understand, giving a champion some new tools to play with, but keeping their original theme. It makes sense. You know, it's, of course, I understand people's disappointment with that, but I do think it definitely makes sense, right? Up next, champion attribute system. If you're into, like, you know, the rating that Kabam does, the top, you know, 1 through 5, you can go click on that link right there in the forum post. I have my own thoughts about those, but yeah. Up next, the part that you probably actually came here for, future updates. Juggernaut, Ant-Man, and Rocket Raccoon. Let's go through it. So, Juggernaut rework in the upcoming 36.1 update. I have no clue what that is. I would assume August. We will be releasing Juggernaut's brand new update, a full rework this time focused on an aggressive and fast-paced attacker kit, aiming to make you feel more like you're the Juggernaut and an unstoppable force. I like aggressive and fast-paced attacker kit. Is he going to be an aggressive and fast-paced defender? Only time will tell. But that's super cool. Juggernaut definitely needed it. Thank God we're finally getting a freaking Ant-Man rework, dude. I've wanted this for so long. Coming out to a contest near you in September. When's the movie coming out? Not September, right? I hope so. I like the Ant-Man movies. We'll be releasing the all-new but somewhat familiar Ant-Man kit, keeping much of the old but adding new flavor with pin particles, new debuffs, and way more poison all day long. I like the sound of that. I expect to stack a ton of debuffs. I love the sound of that. And a much more consistent glancing Ant-Man. I do not like the sound of that because that might be annoying on defense, but again, only time will tell. October, break month. So basically nothing in October. They're taking the month to like get ready for the future and other buffs and stuff like that. So cool. November, Black Cat and Scorpion. A very hot topic discussion here. People ask all the time, oh, are the champions getting nerfed? New champions are released. They're going to be nerfed. They're nerfed. And I keep saying, guys, I really don't think we're going to be seeing many nerfs. They don't want to nerf champions. It makes people really pissed off. I think the past like month with the Mole Man is just evidence that like they know people get really mad when champions are toned down. So I don't feel like we're going to be seeing any nerfs unless it is like game-breaking busted OP, like Hercules at Sig 200, Kitty Pryde at Sig 1, you know, that kind of stuff. I don't think we're going to be seeing abilities that OP anytime in the near future, like Hercules and Kitty Pryde, just because of how busted they are. You know what I mean? So I get it. But anyway, as of this week, we have completed our internal process of evaluating Black Cat and Scorpion. From these findings, we found that they're doing great. Hell yeah, man. We're seeing players push both characters to their limits in long-form content such as Labyrinth of Legends, as both characters feature some spicy damage potential when you line things up right. Both characters appear to be doing well so far across our other pieces of content, and as a result, we're happy with where they've landed in the battle realm, and are going to leave these two Spidey spinsters as is. In their place, we'll be putting our time into a champion rework / overhaul instead, which will be Rocket Raccoon. awesome. It's been a long time coming since Rocket has seen some love. Where is Groot, guys? Where is Groot? So he will be our target for the upcoming November build, and we'll be receiving a full rework. Expect to see him messing around with a new scrap resource, an update to his shield mechanic, and some of his classic critting power. That's all we have to share for now. We'll be sure to keep you all updated as we continue our analysis of recently released champions. If I had to guess, I would think Rocket Raccoon's going to be really good. I do not know, but the way that this was presented, it just seems like Rocket Raccoon is going to be a good buff. I hope so, man. He's super cool. You guys know me. I love the animals. I love the fun type of champions like that, right? But yeah, guys. Cool. I feel like all three of these buffs are very much so needed, and based on the descriptions for these two, they sound like they're going to be cool. Awesome to see Black Cat and Scorpion remaining the same. Obviously, there's been videos of, like, you know, Scorpion doing like 500k special 2s in Labyrinth when everything lines up with synergies and everything. And I'm really glad to see it looks like, right, as they're analyzing this data, it really seems like they're able to distinguish the difference between everything lining up with a full synergy team and in the perfect scenario, as opposed to like how they just do in general and everyday stuff, right? So yeah, you're going to be seeing videos of these champions being like game-breaking OP looking that way. However, they're not. And it's great that that can be distinguished between, right? So yeah, like I said many times, I don't think we're going to be seeing many nerfs. Will we? Maybe. But right now, no. After Black Cat and Scorpion was, I believe, Rintra and Wong. Can't imagine they get nerfed. And after that was Hulkling and Wiccan. Can't imagine they get nerfed. And then Valkyrie and Gore. Can't imagine they get nerfed. I would love to see a little bit of a Gore buff. So yeah, man. Yeah, that's it for this little video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, drop your boy a big ol' like. Let me know what you think about all this stuff. 3 new buffs officially announced in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. The last time this was like announced like this, we got the Storm buff, which in my opinion was amazing. The Gamora buff, which in my opinion was decent. And we got the Deadpool buff, which in my opinion wasn't the best. And then I believe Yondu was a surprise. So those were like the 3 that... Oh, and Psycho Man. Yeah. All right. But anyway, only time will tell how good these are going to be. I'm excited to see. They're cool champions. I like these champions. So I'm excited to see what happens with that. That's it for this one. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. If you don't hit those buttons, we can't be friends, and that's just the truth. So you have to hit the buttons for us to be friends, and I'm more than happy to be friends. Only if you hit those buttons, though. Okay? So do it. That's it for this one. Fun video tomorrow. Spent a long time on it. In the morning, watch it. Hit the like button on that one too. Be seeing you around.